watch over us and our families and friends, and also guide us in leadership and in friendship through our day here.
My name is Wendy Baruch, and I have the pleasure of thanking you all for coming to the Horry County Democratic Party annual Senator Dick Elliott golf tournament. I also have the pleasure of introducing one of the beneficiaries of your kind contributions today. Mr. Ron Wilson is the director of the Veterans Welcome Home and Resource Center in Little River. He's a 1970 Army veteran who is a retired police officer, a retired attorney, and a retired professor. Please join him as we look that way towards our American flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you would, gentlemen and ladies. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Barbara Hake. I'm the first vice chair of the Horry County Democratic Party, and I'm also the fundraising chair. When I say I'm the fundraising chair, I thank all of you for participating and help us raise some funds for the Democratic Party. Thank you. Nothing is done in a vacuum. Because of your support, the support of our sponsors, the support of the people here at the golf course and all, this event is possible. There will be some rules.
Okay, so who is Dick Elliott? Dick Elliott was the person, obviously, that we've named this outing for out of an immense sense of respect for the senator, the man, and his accomplishments. He was a businessman, he was a councilman, he was a state representative, and a state senator. He was thought of as South Carolina statesman while he served in the political arena for over 30 years. Longevity is not the reason that Dick Elliott earned this title. The senator received the Order of the Palmetto from the governor, the highest civilian award in South Carolina for his service to our state. He earned it because of his accomplishments in Columbia and the way he treated and worked with his constituents. He was involved in moving South Carolina forward in ways that ranged from infrastructure, agriculture, tourism, education, senior citizens, and the environment. Two of the most significant projects that Senator Elliott delivered for the people of our area were Coastal Carolina University and Seacoast Medical Center. These are all entities that we're all aware of. While preparing for this event, I reviewed much of the information on the Senator Elliott website. I was impressed by his dedication to family and in everyone he touched in the state of South Carolina. He was an advocate, a friend, and a real presence. But two things stuck out. One was his interest and willingness to make a real difference in the lives that he touched. And the second was a campaign commercial. It was an ad like many others that I've seen before. It was entitled Trust, and it talked about the center as an independent voice. But what stood out to me was printed at the end of the ad, and it said, "Sponsored by Republicans for Dick Elliott." When the opposing party respects you, well, what more can you say? His example of working across the aisle is an example we need to see more of today. Senator Dick Elliott, golf outing, thank you for making this event a success, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the 3rd annual event.
Thank you, sir. I'm here on behalf of the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, and we wanted to do something special for Senator Dick Elliott today. And if I could call Rick and Mrs. Elliott, if y'all wouldn't mind coming up and joining me up front here for a second. We wanted to do something to honor Senator Elliott, and we wanted to present this to Rick and Mrs. Elliott on behalf of Senator Dick Elliott. Now, the number 30, we debated on what number to put up. We thought about number 1, the district, and we really came up with a sports analogy with the 30. And that's where we came up with it. When Dick Elliott retired from the Senate, one of the things he mentioned he was most proud of was never missing a day in Columbia. And to put it from a sports analogy, it reminded me of what Bill Polian once said. Bill Polian is a Hall of Fame general manager with Buffalo Bills, Indianapolis Colts, helped build the franchise Carolina Panthers. And when he was asked, what's the most important thing you look in a player? Is it speed? Is it toughness? Is it strength? He replied, availability. He said, none of that other stuff does any good if I can't depend on that player to be there every game. And it made us really think of it with Senator Elliott, that he was always there, whether you agreed with him or not, he was always there to represent the state of South Carolina every day. And we just appreciate that, especially from a sports standpoint. So.
Ryan, that was awful nice of you, and 30 years was a long time, and that meant a lot to my dad, and ever since the day when he was on the job in the House and the Senate. So loyalty is extremely important, and I see a lot of loyal friends when I look out here today and look in each of your eyes. I see the Andersons, who supported my dad over the years and provided insurance and good advice, and we appreciate all that you've done for this event. And I want to say thank you, Larry, on behalf of our family. Back in 1981, when my dad ran for office, he had a choice to make. He could be a Republican or he could be a Democrat. He chose to be a Democrat, and he never left the side of the Democrat Party. And I respect him greatly for that. When the world turned in the 80s and the 90s, And the Republican Party came to him and said, Mr. Elliott, you're a good conservative. We want you to join us. He said, no. I'm going to ride my donkey into the sunset. So that's what he did. He yearned to see this party be the party it can be again. And with Don's leadership and the leadership of the rest of the party, everything that's being done right now is very positive. We see a wonderful opportunity right here in Horry County to grow things again. And we will be strong again. So thank you all today for what you've done, short and sweet. I saw some really good golf shots out there today. And it was a lot of fun. And thank you all on behalf of our family. Appreciate it.
Rick, thank you.
Shot first.
I'd rather have Ron come up since the money's going to go to the Veterans Welcome Home and have him pull the ticket. I don't want to be responsible for pulling the wrong ticket amongst you all. We sell insurance, and I don't want any enemies. And again, Rick, thank you. Michael and Janet could not be here today. They had a family emergency and had to wind up going to Atlanta. And I am really disappointed in y'all. I got to take a Corvette and a Cadillac back to Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac because you guys didn't get a hole-in-one. Well, guess what? We don't sell it to you anyway, but we'll be back next year. Okay? Tell 5 friends, please. Here's the ticket she just pulled. If you can announce the number, this person gets one shot. Okay. One shot at winning $1 million. Says Matt.
Oh, boy.
Here I am.
Left John.
Anybody wants to join us, we're going to go out. Mr. Madden's going to take a swing, and hopefully we'll give something away today.
Before you leave to go out, I would be remiss not to say, while this young man is up here, Larry O'Donoghue, on behalf of Anderson Insurance, is responsible for those 2 beautiful cars out there in the first place. They sponsored those cars, they took care of the insurance and everything, and we so appreciate that he's done so much for us as an organization and for the Elliott family. So I'd really like to give a big round of applause.
Including the $1 million. So
Yes, the $1 million hole-in-one, the car hole-in-one, and all the other hole-in-one prizes. And I also really want to give a shout out to Rick Elliott and his family for being so generous, because a lot of the prizes that you guys are going home with today were donated by none other than Rick Elliott and his family and his Eagle Nest and for Elliott Beach Rental. So another shout out to Rick.
Hit the ground.
I'd hit that hill and kick right.
Yeah, I didn't see it. A little right, a little left.
Well, Mr. Madden, thank you. No, what can we use?